Oh my goodness. Mm, 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 mm. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. Off season is off. Take a hike, off season. Get out of here. We don't like you. We don't want you. We are now going to be talking about practice. Not the game. Not the game that we love. We're going to be talking about practice, and you're going to like it. You're going to like the fact that we're not listening to all of these bloviating talking heads with mindless minutia telling you what you should think about your team. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't talk about other teams. They only talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we had the tone set by Tyler Smith, and I think we just put a target on our backs. Before I get to that, though, NFL women's flag football. Apparently, each NFL team sponsors a team. And it went down to the Cowboys and Eagles to go to the championship game. And the Cowboys girls, the Bunnies, I think it is, they beat the Eagles to go on to the championship. Maybe that's a foreshadowing for the season? Is it? Could it be? I don't know. I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I am not talking about Super Bowl. That would be crazy. But somebody who is talking about Super Bowl is Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith asked what was his expectations for this year, and he said the expectations are always Super Bowl. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Here's what I'm going to say. Anything worthwhile in life is never easy. Trust me. Sitting right here looking at this incredible house. And I'm going to tell you, you know what? I'm going to be arrogant about this shit. This house is beautiful. This house is beginning to look as beautiful as the P. Buckley Moss painting that she did of this place 9 years ago. Her vision. And if you don't know who P. Buckley Moss is, look her up. Look her up and look for the red brick house, because she painted this house as a fundraiser to help save it. And I gotta say, it's looking as good as her painting. It really is. I have busted my ass. But this house is not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be sitting right here with a fire here at the fireplace, talking to Cowboy fans. This should be an apartment building. This was slated to be bulldozed over. But see, in life, in order to succeed, you have to first believe that you can do something. Maybe it doesn't work out, but if you don't believe something can happen, chances are it probably won't. You first have to believe that something can happen. And then, you can't forget about step number 2. Step number 2 is you got to bust your ass to make it happen. It's not just given to you. You don't just walk to training camp and all of a sudden you're handed a trophy. You have to put in the work. And it's not just Tyler Smith. It's every single one of those players on the field. And it's not just those 53 on the regular roster. It's those practice squad guys that are giving the players a real look. It's the water boy making sure people are hydrated. It is the front office that's making sure that contracts are done and you have as many great players on the roster as possible. That's where we fail, is our front office, if you ask me. Tyler Smith was also asked about his contract. Yeah, which the Cowboys, let's be real here, the Cowboys shouldn't be working on Micah Parsons. They should be working on an extension for Tyler Smith and getting that done, because they can have next year that 5th year option as room to hide some of that money and kick that down the road. That would be the wise thing to do. But, if the Cowboys really want to show us change, get Micah Parsons done in the next day or two. So we get that out of the way. So we have Micah Parsons like, I'm rich, bitch! Yeah. And out there excited to prove that he's worth all that money. Now, I love Tyler Smith. He's a guy that goes to work. And I hope he's contagious with Tyler Booker. That they become bookends, guards. That along with Cooper Beebe, open those holes up in the middle. That literally make the parting of the Red Sea on the defenses. We have Micah Parsons, who wasn't on the team's charter, but says he's a man of his words. He wants to be a leader. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, this is where you have an opportunity. Because when you see Micah Parsons, who's in a contract dispute, show up for all the OTAs, show up for training camp, say that I want to be a leader, that's where you reward him and you send a message of, this is how you get paid. This is how we expect our players to do, and we reward them for doing just that. The Cowboys this year, we don't have all the distractions that we had. We had Mike McCarthy on the last year of his deal along with everybody on his coaching staff. Will he come back? Who's going to be the next coach? Dak Prescott on the last year of his deal. Teams that would love to have him. Could he be a New York Giant? Would it be wise for Dak to get a fresh start? CeeDee Lamb, not here. The CeeDee Lamb watch. Will he get paid? Will they trade him? Are the Cowboys blowing it all up? Those distractions are done. And I dare say the Cowboys like Brian Schottenheimer a lot more than they did Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, I have to be real with you. In comparison to what the Cowboys have done for Schotty to try and make him successful, it's a 180 from what they did with Mike McCarthy. I'll be real with you. When you look at what the Eagles have done to help their team and their roster in the last 5 years, when you look at them getting an A.J. Brown, when you look at them getting a Saquon, when you look at them constantly trying to upgrade the roster, getting their guys paid early and kicking the can down the road, constantly bringing in more and more and more time. It hasn't worked out every time because Lord knows they got $76 million in dead money. But they constantly figure, we might make a mistake on 2 or 3 of them, but we're going to hit on 2 or 3 of them, which means we got 2 or 3 better players than we had before. We'll deal with the money issue when it comes up. We'll kick it down the road, and we'll deal with it in the future. But they get that talent. The Cowboys, if you check your heart and your soul, and you really look at it, the biggest thing they did for Mike McCarthy was Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Those are the 2 biggest players that they brought in outside the building. They literally, in training camp, were bringing in guys who hadn't been on a roster for a year or 2. It was insane. And I will say, I'm sad that I'm not going to be in Oxnard this year. I was there last year when it was literally like a funeral, that the crowds weren't there. There were more content creators there than there were actually fans. That this year, there's some excitement and some buzz. And for Brian Schottenheimer, he's living his dream right now, following the footsteps of his dad. And he seems to have the backing of the organization. Now, I can't wait to see the opening press conference, to see, and this is what I'm going to be looking for, Is this a case of like when we had the introduction of Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach? Will this be where Brian Schottenheimer is the first one to speak and to set the tone and introduce himself, as opposed to what normally happens is Jerry Jones gets up there and starts talking about glory holes and all the great things that they've done for the Cowboys and stuff, and then it's Stephen Jones talking about we've had more renewals and things like that. Oh, that's right, we have a coach, and then the coach kind of speaks for a minute and then it's over with. Or if this is truly the Brian Schottenheimer show, that's going to be telling who leads this press conference tomorrow. Now I got to get up early because I've got some roof repairs, got a couple of soft spots on the roof, and I got my man Mike. We're going to get started at 7 a.m. I want to be done and back here to get that press conference live, because that is truly important for our Dallas Cowboys. This week will be interesting. I will be leaving and going out of town on Thursday for a little vacation with the missus. We're actually calling it more of a retreat because we're going to be planning a lot of different things and working on stuff for the channel, as well as for the Red Brick House, and plans of things that we need to take care of and stuff as we're getting older. So we're calling it basically a retreat to kind of focus in on us. And we'll be also focusing in on what's going on with the Cowboys. And as she also put it, you have been busting your ass. Not that you have a lot of ass anymore. You got old man ass, which is kind of like you go straight down, which is why your pants are always falling down. You don't have those curves that you used to have, okay? And you got the belly, so the belly holds the belt, so you kind of got this inverted V. And that's why your pants keep coming down and why you're showing crack. But so many people say I need to take a break because I went from being depressed about my dad and my father-in-law and not doing anything to being the polar opposite. But I'm like Micah Parsons, who says, people don't believe in your worth. Work harder. Show them. Show them that they can't live without you. And that's always been my motto, is to work harder. So let me say from the bottom of my heart, as always, it is great because we're beginning to see all kinds of fans that we haven't seen for a while, like Dallas Cowboy Girl. Found out she's had some kind of an operation. I hope everything goes well. I know you'll be back to telling people to kiss your ass, like you said, come September. But we're beginning to see like Angelica Barron and all of the great fans that we've been missing for so long. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I will be working harder on the channel to bring you the best news and content on the Cowboys and the Cowboys versus the Eagles, Commanders, and Giants talk. At least as long as I'm still here. And that's why I always remind you guys at the end of each one of these videos to tell the people you love how much you love them. We've all lost a lot of people, a lot of great friends and family members, and you want to live with no regrets, and you want people to know how you feel. I love you, and God willing, I'll see you all tomorrow. Ooh. See, look, I'm a little thinner. Aren't I? Look, the hard work got me rid of some of the belly. Football's back, baby. Peace out.